Well, let's begin. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending where you're at. We welcome you to this month's ADISRA's webinar on developing applications for Linux. In a world that's been dominated by proprietary platforms and industrial automation, as all of you know, Linux has been quietly building a steady uh, uh, gain in ground as a powerful, alternative to the old Windows CE and stuff. While Windows still leads the desktop market at around 74%, Linux is expanding rapidly in more industrial systems, PLCs, and edge computing. The numbers sort of back it up. The Linux OS market is expected to reach nearly 19 billion by 2029. In industrial automation, over 33% of newly deployed PLCs are now Linux-based, and nearly 72% of edge AI workloads run on Linux. So the trend is clear. Linux is not just an option anymore. It is becoming a core platform for modern industrial automation. Given that this session is exactly what we're going to discuss is how to develop applications for Linux. We're going to show you how to build scalable, robust HMI SCADA applications using ADISRA SmartView on Linux. We will cover design considerations, connectivity to PLCs and database, security and maintenance, remote management, and how to integrate edge AI using built-in rule-based expert systems for predictive maintenance. My name is Marcia Gabois, and I have the privilege of serving as the general manager for ADISRA. And over the years, I have worked across many areas of software industry, from artificial intelligence to industrial automation, and previously led Indusoft through the acquisitions by Inventus. Today, I will be moderating our session and briefly setting the stage. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the person leading today's demonstration. Leandro Cola is a partner at ADISRA and a lead customer application and service. He brings over 19 years of hands-on experience in industrial automation with deep expertise in HMI SCADA systems, database, web technology, and system communications. Before ADISRA, Leandro spent 13 years as the owner and partner of 5 Systems, delivering automation projects across oil and gas, energy, water and wastewater, agriculture, machine builders, environment. He also previously worked as an engineer at Indusoft. Leandro brings real-world practical experience to today's demo, exactly the perspective this session needs. I do encourage you to ask lots of questions, and please enter them in the chat. This is a session so we can answer your questions and what's important to you. I thought I'd just begin by giving you a little bit about the vision that ADISRA has and how we enter the market. For decades, industrial automation has generated an enormous amount of data, as all of you know, but very little of it has actually helped people make better decisions. Large enterprises solve this with layers of software, custom integration, and teams of specialists. But small and mid-market manufacturers, municipalities, OEMs, machine builders, and system integrators were largely left behind, even though the operational challenges they face are just as real. ADISRA was built to close the gap. We are redefining industrial automation by transforming raw operational data into intelligence, insights, and foresight, so smaller organizations can operate with the same clarity, agility, and resilience once reserved for large enterprises. Our platform unifies intelligence across edge, operations, and analytics, allowing teams to move beyond basic visualization into confident data-driven decision-making without enterprise-level complexity or cost or staffing. At the core, ADISRA is about making industrial intelligence practical to deploy, practical to use, and practical to scale. ADISRA has Once we understood what we were trying to do, the question became, how do you deliver industrial intelligence in a way that is practical and scalable for a mid-market customer? Our answer was not a single monolithic product, but a layered platform delivered through 3 tightly connected solutions, but can work outside of with third-party packages that are independent, but also work with other vendors. At the foundation is ADISRA SmartView. And ADISRA SmartView transforms HMI and SCADA systems from passive displays into intelligent operational platforms where data is generated, context is established, and decisions are made. Building on that foundation is InsightView, which turns operational data into measurable performance improvements through OEE, 6 major losses, energy management, and analytics without the overhead of an enterprise MES system. And at the top is KnowledgeView, our predictive intelligence layer, delivering explainable, predictive maintenance so teams can prevent failures rather than react to them. Each product stands on its own, but together they form a cohesive journey from control to insight to foresight, allowing customers to start where they are and scale intelligently over time. Now let's just focus on the ADISRA SmartView because that's what this session's about. ADISRA SmartView allows you to design application in a single integrated development enterprise with a built-in AI expert system and deploy them across multiple platforms. That includes all modern Microsoft operating systems and Linux, supporting everything from HMI, control rooms to headless edges, IIoT deployment. And efficiency comes from reuse, consistency, and flexibility built in from day one. So we have the concept of being able to reuse templates throughout the project, as the last session that we discussed. Let us take a closer look at ADISRA SmartView. Traditional HMI SCADA system have been passive, showing operators what is happening, but not helping them understand what to do next. ADISRA SmartView changes that by redefining HMI and SCADA as an intelligent industrial platform. It combines visualization, controls, and embedded intelligence into a single solution deployed across edge systems, IIoT devices, HMI, SCADA environments. Intelligence lives directly within the application, so operators receive context, guidance, and logic where decisions are made. Some of our competitive advantages, and we understood the market reality, it's very crowded in the HMI SCADA world. So clearly we needed to have a differentiation. First is the runtime configuration and templating. ADISRA SmartView allows you system to be configured and updated without re-entering the development environment, reducing deployment time, simplifying updates, and lowering lifecycle costs, especially for OEMs and system integrators. Actually, we discussed that at the last session, and that allows you, we have some really good examples of how to build templates using like the low code template, as well as objects within the product that are template based as well. The second is a built-in rule-based expert system, which is intelligence is embedded directly into the HMI SCADA layer, and decisions are explained, they're traceable, and trusted without requiring external AI tools or data science teams. Third is a disciplined machine learning roadmap that allows customers to layer in advanced analytics over time while maintaining guardrails and explaining the rule-based expert system provides. You will see in future releases our machine learning generative AI component. With the rule-based system, the two together control hallucinations that often come with machine learning models. And finally, ADISRA SmartView is scalable by design. Templates, reuse, embedded intelligence enable repeat solution, faster delivery, and strong margins. Let's look at the key driver behind the Linux adoption, software-defined automation. This market is about a $46 billion in 2025 and is expected to reach 54 billion in 2026 and over 112 billion by 2036, growing at about a 16% annual rate. What is driving it, the major shift is architecture. Control software is being decoupled from proprietary hardware, Instead of being locked into specific PLCs or vendors, plant operators want hardware agnostic systems that are more flexible, scalable, and easier to maintain. At the same time, IT and OT are convergent, so industrial systems are starting to look much more like modern IT environments. And Linux plays a key role in providing the foundation of these flexible software-defined architectures that are open. This slide sort of captures the core approach for ADISRA SmartView. You develop your application once on Windows using a full ADISRA SmartView environment. Then you deploy it on Linux, whether it's an edge device, industrial PC, server, or even the cloud. And from there, everything is remotely managed, start and stop applications, deploy updates, manage, license, and debug the runtime remotely. It is a simple build once, deploy anywhere, and manage everything from one place. Now I'm going to turn it over to Leandro so he can give you a demonstration. Once again, I encourage you to ask your questions in the chat and we will answer them. Leandro, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you, Marcia. Hello, everyone. I'm going to show you how to deploy an application on Linux. Let me share screen now. So can you see my screen, right? Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, I will follow a step-by-step how to deploy this application on Linux. First of all, you need to understand that the application needs to be developed on Windows. That is our engineering module, and then you can run your own application and your screens on Linux. All right, and to deploy it, you can do it by remote management tool. That's right here. All right. One thing here in our website, if you go to download this SmartView, you fill up the form, and after that you have an option to download the Linux runtime for ARM and x64. And also here we have how to install ADISRA SmartView on Linux. That is a document, as you can see here, with the step-by-step for all the distributions and everything. Here it shows the architecture, the requirements, the hardware requirements, the software, the distributions that we can run, the .NET runtime, the web server if you are going to use the web pages on Linux. And this is the modules that now is available on Linux runtime. For example, now we are working on the reports. The next version we will have the reports. Here you can see the drivers, for example. This is what we support. Now, for example, the TwinCat ADS is already working, and we have a Siemens TLS that is a new driver that is working on Linux and also on Windows, and also we are going to release this on Linux shortly. And I have this on beta here, and I'm going to show you later. Here explaining about the Linux distributions, the prerequisites that needs to be installed, all right, the Apache and everything else, all right. So basically, I create here this step-by-step that is now download the runtime package for Linux, all right. So if you go here, as I showed before, you just need to download one of these packages, all right? After that, you copy it to Linux machine, for example, home in this folder, SV Linux admin. Here I have this Ubuntu machine. Let me show you now. For example, I have the home, and then this you can create this folder. I already have it, but this is the SV Linux admin. Then after you extract, you will have the folders like this. For example, I have runtime for the 4130, 40, 50, and then 51 beta that I'm using now with that driver that I just showed. So after you have you download, you can extract it and have a folder like this. All right. So after that, this is how to extract. You can find this on Linux on the document as well. This is the command to check the folder. All right. Then you need to set execution permissions. This is the command because otherwise you will not be able to run the executable file. So this is a way to set the permissions. Then, if you are using a USB dongle, you need to run these commands. And if you are going to use the web pages, you need to install the Apache, for example, that is the web server. This is the command for it. I already made all of this in my computer, but on my Linux, but this is the steps, all right? Okay. Then after that, you can start the communication services. That is run this command, all right? So let's start with this. If we will open this one, you can see the Linux admin, all right? Now if here I can show you all the folders that I have. I'm going to build 5.1, right? Then I can run that command, the sudo remote tools serves Linux. Now I have the remote tool running. All right. Okay, the next step. Now we connect from Windows. We are going to the settings, remote managing tool. And then we are going to put the Linux IP and then connect. With that, we can upload our project, manage the license, and stop the runtime. Okay, let's go to do it. The remote management tool. This is my IP on Linux. I think that we can find this on Linux also. There's a command. Let me open another one. Let's see. Yeah, no, IP. No. Sorry. Let me just check one thing here.
Leandro?
Yeah, sorry. No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
Okay.
just looking for the command, but I think I don't actually I don't know how exactly. IP. Maybe it's this one. Yes. Now you can find the IP. For example, I have here the IP. All right. So here on the remote management tool, we put the IP, the port, all right, and then we can connect. As you can see, we are running the version that we are running on Linux, the machine name, the platform, and everything else. Then here on project, this is where our local project is. And this is the target. You also can see here. For example, I create a folder there on home, dentro, and then I have SV apps here. So here is where I put all my applications. So this is the target, all right? If I click it here to upload it, it uploads the entire application, all right? And also here, for example, if you want to generate web folders, web pages, here is where we get our screens, and then it's where you can where we are going to put the HTML pages, and here is where you can find like our graphics, and then you choose the graphics that you want to generate the HTML files, and then you have it there. All right. So basically, we connected, we uploaded the application there, and then we are going to run. So as you can see here, now the application is running. I'm going to connect to do a ADISRA VPN to be able to connect to the PLCs as well. No, sorry. All right, I'm connected on the VPN. All right, so let's back to the step by step. We start the application. Then this is how to run our runtime, our project by command line, and then, or you just clicked run after upload the project. This is what I just done here. All right. If you want to license, we can license it here as well. As you can see, I already have a soft key. This is our own Linux. All right. This is if you want to, you can configure this app sets JSON with the project path, and then create the system MD service to create a service to start automatically on the boot. All right. So let's back to the application here. Let me show you what I've developed here to show this running on Linux. All right. I have a graphic here that I have the station that is the machine. Sorry, I'm sorry. So sorry. So I have this application here, and this screen I have some templates that I'm going to show you. This twin cat. So as you can see here, I'm sorry. As you can see here, I have I have this structure communicating with a TwinCAD driver. I also have these tags communicating with Siemens driver at Siemens PLC using TIA TLS. I also have the regular Siemens driver as well. I have an OPC UA client that communicates with an application on Windows. I have also the MQTT driver working with a broker, a Modbus driver, and also a Allen Bradley communicating with 3 different PLCs, a Compact Logics, a Micro 800 Logics, and also a Micro Logics 1100. All right. I have also a tags history communicating with a Postgres on the cloud, and I'm just historying 6 tags there, basically. All right. This is a small application. Also, I have a template that I just show you there. That's going to show a Boolean, an integer, and a float tag. All right. So this is each one is for one PLC. All right. And this basically is the application. All right. So let me stop this application that I'm running here, show you the step by step, and I'm going to show you just only the Linux now. Right here, I have the application running on Linux. And then now the first, I will open the viewer, the remote viewer. As you can see, this is the IP. Here I can test the connection. If I connect there. As you can see, this is a Ubuntu station, the IP that I'm running there. All right. This is connecting to the PLCs as my just do something quickly here. Just run it again. All right, this yeah, it's with the bad quality here. That's why you're not showing the values, but probably our VPN is not so good with the communication. But basically, this is running on a remote viewer. All right, and as I already generated the HTML files, we also can check this running on Linux on the web, the remote web viewer, right? This is the IP and the folder that I have there. All right. So as you can see, this is the remote viewer. All right. So and then I also can run the viewer. Yeah. I just show you before here. We also have here the here, yeah, we have the Linux viewer, so you can download it as well. Some distributions has not visual options; it's just command lines. But if you have it, you can also download the SmartView viewer. After you have this installed and extracted, you also can run the viewer, the local viewer on Linux, and also this you can test the connection. For example, this is the viewer running on Linux. right? So here you can, as you can see, you can change the values of the tags. It's communicating with the PLC, right? And and also if you have the, let's just start here the application. Now I'm going to start the application locally. Now I'm running on Linux, on Windows, this, and also it's communicating with the same tags on the PLC and communicating with the Ubuntu using this OPC, as you can see here. As you can see here, if we click it here on, and it sends to the PLC and communicates with the local. Okay. So also, as I'm say I'm not so sorry. Let me just run the remote viewer as well. Just connects to the yeah. So you can see here now it's connected to the I have this on Linux. This is on yeah, and the other I just closed. Sorry, but for example, now you also can see check the train, get the history, right? It's also working on Linux as well. So basically, you have many options to run on Linux. You can just run your runtime on Linux and use the remote viewer on Windows. You can use web browser on different devices, getting the screens from Linux as well. And you also have an option to run the viewer locally, as I'm showing here. All right. So now I'm open to questions.
We have a couple questions that came in through through WhatsApp. So one of them is, can a ADISRA SmartView run in a container like Docker? Like I think that's how we
Yeah.
did the PLC next door, right?
Yes, right. I think that it's possible. Yeah, I need to confirm how it is our distribution, but I think that yes.
Yeah, that's how we did the PLC next door. It's containerized, right? And it aligns with the deployment. So I think that's how it was done. There's another question that just came in. Is there a limitation of a SmartView Linux runtime compared to Windows runtime? So why don't you go back and show the limitations? Steve is asking what features don't run on it. So when you start an application in Linux, Leandro, uh, and you know you're going to deploy to Linux, does it allow you to build a report even though it doesn't run? How's that work in the ADISRA? That's what, and show Steve the limitations.
Yes, the limitations now is the reports. You also can create a report on Windows, but it is not going to work on Linux. If you run the application there, it's not going to run now. We are developing reports that are going to work on Linux. Also, some drivers are not working on Linux. this Siemens TIA is not working on Linux. And also the OPC DA client doesn't work on Linux as well because this is COM dependent, so it's a Windows features dependent. All right, and let me check that document again. It shows here all the features that are here. Let me. Okay, so here. The language is not working on Linux yet. The recipe, yes. The smart recipes, that is an option of a recipe that we have, doesn't work on Linux yet. The reports, we are working on it. All these other features are working on Linux as well. About this, the database providers. The Access database file doesn't work on Linux because it's an Access Microsoft one, and the Microsoft ODBC doesn't work as well. We have the providers for SQL Server, the Oracle database, and PostgreSQL. And we also are working on have the SQLite provider, because with that you also can work with a file that is similar to Access database file and have this with your application without having to install anything. All right, for the drivers, the Mitsubishi is under beta, and the Onroll Things and Things also under beta. As I said, the OPCDI client is not possible to migrate it, and the Siemens TIA is not possible, but the Siemens TIA TLS we already migrated, as I showed you here. As we have it here, the Siemens TIA TLS is also a symbolic address. All right.
Yeah, and something else came in. So while you're in the documentation, why don't you just show once again what Linux distributions are supported at this time?
At this time, this is our the Ubuntu, desktop and servers, Linux Mint, Debian, CentOS, Alpine Virtual, Standard, Alpine Linux. All right. But also, if you have any distribution that you want to be included here, this probably we haven't tested, but it's possible to have this working as well. Just let us know that we will test it there and make sure that it's going to work on a specific distribution. All right.
Another question that came in is, can you go through some of the features of ADISRA SmartView high level if you were starting to build a new application that says for Linux? How would you go about it?
Oh, basically, it's the same as we do it for the Windows. We create the tags.
Why don't you, yeah, just
We create the tags. Also, you can create data types if you want. If you have already designed your tag base, so you can create data types and then instance the tags. After that, you can set the history, create the database communication, and also create the history documents. Then you can create the communication drivers, create the worksheets, and set the communication, the IPs, and everything else to communicate with the PLCs. All right. Then you can create the graphics. Having all of this, create your graphics.
And what about
After
the
you
rule
have
base? Can you also talk about that?
Yeah, also you can create the advanced rule sets, for example, here, and also create flowcharts. With these flowcharts, you can create the rules. With the rules, you can use here like the conditions, the ORs, connect it to then action to set a tag, and after you have a rule, you can use this rule here, it showed here, and then you have also condition, logical operators, actions to do, and our goal, that is basically the sequence of and the options that we have to create the rule-based system. And you have these rules working on the same as it works here on Windows. The rules are going to work on Linux as well. So we just can create these rules. These rules are interesting to, for example, get if I do some expert systems or something that the operators knows how to do, you can create this visual flow charts that is easier to understand and get to design based on the operators than just creating scripts for the rules. So this is more visual and easier to create the
So the question is,
yeah, the rules, yes.
yeah, so because a lot of them questions came from wanting a headless analytics edge device doing intelligence. So the way you would go about it, it would be to build the application. You can then do a remote with a web and put the logic in with the rule base. Is that correct? Did you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Basically, you create the rules, put the logics on the rule base. After you have it here, you can just run it on Linux.
And I think there's one other question that just came in is they wanted to understand if there's any limitations on the graphics to deploy on Linux. On the visualization part component, when you're creating screens, are there any limitations when you want to deploy to Linux?
No, basically, you are going to send your screens using the remote management tool, or send your entire application. If it's just upload it, it
So
sends
all
all
the
the
objects
files.
work. I think they're asking about the objects. Do all the objects?
Yes, depend. If you are using the remote Windows viewer, it's going to work as Windows. So all the objects are going to work. If you are using web, the limitations are going to be the web limitations. So, for example, the .NET control is not supported on Linux, sorry, on web. So this you will not be able to use it. But basically, all the features that we have that works on the web for Windows is going to work on Linux as well.
Okay, I don't see any other questions. If anybody has any questions, please let us know. I just want to follow up with a couple slides. Leandro, are you done? I'll just
Yes, just if
finish.
you have
Okay, I will
okay.
finish up. Let me just share my screen. Oh, oops, sorry. Now I'm having trouble. Okay, let me just finish up with sharing some screens with you guys. Okay, hold on. It's very simple. Um, Apologize for this. For some reason, Zoom is not participating with me. Here we go. Share. I just want to leave you with one of the things that we also want to differentiate ourselves at ADISRA is in support. We really believe in working closely with you guys, and we just wanted to give you the resources of where you can find things. There is a knowledge base and the frequently asked questions, both on the web as well as some of the blogs are written for Q&A that people ask a lot. We do have a chat on our website. It's manned Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. to, it really goes a little later than 5 p.m. CDT, but we encourage you to really reach out and talk to us. We answer our emails as well at support@adisra.com, as well as licensing if you need it, or you can call us. We're always available. Um, we really do want to make sure to provide you the training and the support you need to be successful. We also have example applications on our website. We add new examples all the time, as well as example features, guides. We have templates. We have a library of uh, videos that are both on YouTube, as well as you can go through our website to access them on our product. And we continually add more. We do also want to let you know we have a weekly blog that we talk about different topics. We publish on Insight on our blog. We cover industry trends, real world applications, practical strategies around HMI, SCADA, IIoT. We talk about predictive maintenance. We talked about ADISRA SmartView. And we do have this new blog that's called Dear ADISRA, because we tend to get a lot of questions and we want to make sure that everyone might be suffering with the same questions. We want them answered. So please, we encourage you to send questions in, to reach out to us, to really work closely with us, because that is what we want, our ethos is to work closely with our customers. If there are no more questions, we will save you the time and let you go. Thank you for attending, and we hope to see you at the next webinar. Thank you very much.